All right, so everybody wants to be more resilient. Everybody wants to be more mentally tough. They want to be able to endure more, to put up with life and to really bounce back from circumstances that are painful instead of break when things happen to them. And not everybody is able to bounce back immediately. Everybody's at a different level, and I want to share with you something I've learned throughout my life, not just as a man, but also as a combat veteran from the military and fighting the war in Afghanistan. And now with everything I do as an entrepreneur and speaker and author and stuff like that, everything presents its own unique challenges. But I just got back from a run. I ran about 2 miles, and I did it at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm located right here in Dallas, Texas, and it's like the end of June right now. So in case you hear a really weird noise, my dog is getting a drink of water, and he's a German Shepherd. So he's really loud. In fact, you can see him over here. Yeah, it's all good if he interrupts me, though. He's a good dog. But here's the deal. I could have ran at 6 o'clock this morning when it was cooler. I could run tonight when it's cooler. But I wanted to get it out of the way. And one thing I've always done is whatever situation I'm going to be in, I always try and train in the worst and toughest conditions I possibly can for that one event, because I know that anywhere I go, it's going to be at least that bad, or maybe even easier in a lot of cases if I train the worst. Like, there are some schools in the military that were so much worse than so many of the conditions I faced in Afghanistan, and that was intentional. Some of these training exercises in these schools, they make them so bad that when you're in the actual real world experience, you can at least maybe look back and go, you know what, this is bad, but at least I'm not back at Fort Benning, Georgia, or whatever the case. And so that was one reason. That's one reason I run at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It's the hottest part of the day. Nobody wants to be out there. Well, I don't have very many people bumping shoulders with me because nobody's out there. And one of the reasons I'm really ramping up my running is because here in about a month and a half, I'm going to be climbing some 14ers, which are huge mountains out in Colorado. And I'm going to be going with a group of other combat veterans who come back from the war in Afghanistan, Iraq. And hey, my kids just got up. Blake's getting ready to go to jiu-jitsu. But I'm training up for that, and I know the elevation is going to totally suck with the oxygen. It's just not there like it is here. And the tougher it becomes for me now, the easier it's going to be then, even though it's still going to be hard. It's kind of like we have this saying in the military: embrace the suck. Basically, if you're building a business, if you're going through a hard time, if you're physically training for something, it's going to suck. So don't run from it, just embrace it. But it's the same thing with even the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu I do. I notice a lot of times I'll walk in and sometimes the air conditioning's on in the gym. Other times I walk in and someone cuts the air off. And then it's really hot during training. But you know what? If you ever had to use that stuff in a real world scenario, you're probably not going to be in an air-conditioned padded room, with all the mats on the floor and the walls. And so when you make this, whatever it is you're going after, when you train for it, make it suck. I'm serious. Make it the worst it could be while you train. I'm not talking going off the deep end and hurting yourself or anything stupid like that. But if you're training for a marathon and it's going to be hot outside, get out there when it's hot. Prepare yourself. Don't hurt yourself. But get yourself in the worst conditions as you're training. That way, because when you get to the day of the event or whatever it is, it's going to be at least that. It probably won't be that bad. But even if it is that bad, you're ready for it because you've done it before. All right. Now, this could apply to any area of life. Again, it could be your physical health. It could be, anything, your business. So many different areas. But make your training circumstances tough. Allow them to be tough and allow somebody to push you. It's going to make you mentally stronger. And when you actually do get put to the test, it's not going to be nearly as bad. The guys, if you're training for a marathon and you're running on a treadmill in an air-conditioned gym and your opponent is training outside, running miles in the hot sun every day, he's going to put you to shame, or he or she's going to put you to shame because they've been in these conditions the whole time, training and preparing, while you've been trying to stay comfortable while you prepare. It's not going to work very well. All right, it's kind of like if you're a boxer or a fighter, and let's say a fighting event comes up, maybe a competition you're doing, and maybe let's say it's in Denver, Colorado, and you're from Dallas or New Orleans where you're at sea level or below, and then you have to go there and fight, and you arrive a day or two before the event, and your opponent got there 3 weeks before the event. Your opponent is more acclimated to that elevation as far as the oxygen is concerned than you are, and you're going to burn out cardio-wise, you're going to burn out a lot faster and lose your energy a lot quicker than your opponent. So make it tough. Make it tough on yourself, because when you do go to do something or you hit a speed bump, it's going to be easier to be more resilient. It's going to be easier to weather the blow. It's going to be easier to bounce back instead of just break. So leave a comment. Tell me this. Do you have a tip for telling people how they can become mentally tougher? Do you have one tip you found that's helped you prepare for the things in your life that allowed you to become mentally tougher? Leave a comment and share it with us. I look forward to reading it.